This is the N332 Driving in Spain podcast. Here's Mark Nolan with the latest.
Hello and welcome to the N332 Driving in Spain podcast, your essential weekly guide to road safety, traffic law and motoring life on the Iberian Peninsula and beyond. I'm Mark Nolan, and this week we're diving into some crucial information you need to hear, particularly as we transition fully into the autumn season. We've got a detailed look at the DGT's renewed focus on safety around schools, including a major upcoming campaign targeting school transport. We'll also be looking at the latest sobering statistics regarding vulnerable road users in Spain and a very important traffic alert concerning the EU's new border control system, EES, which is about to start its rollout. Finally, we'll take a trip through the rear-view mirror for our weekly look at motoring history. First though, let's get into the headlines, starting with two expanded stories that are shaping the roads this week. The first story this week is a stark reminder from the DGT about where the real dangers lie on Spain's roads. Latest figures show that tragically vulnerable road users now account for a full 50% of all road deaths in Spain. That's half of all fatalities, being motorcyclists, pedestrians and cyclists. In urban areas, the picture is even more acute, with 80% of deaths being among vulnerable groups. The factors causing this are depressingly familiar. Distraction is the number one cause in fatal accidents, present in nearly a third of all cases, followed closely by alcohol and then speed. This isn't just a statistic, it's a huge alert for every single driver. You simply cannot afford to take your focus off the road, particularly in towns and cities. Now, for anyone driving or travelling between the UK and the Schengen area, this next story is critical. We have an official start date for the phased introduction of the European Union's new entry-exit system, or EES, starting on the 12th of October 2025. If you're a non-EU citizen, this new digital border control will require you to register biometric data, that's fingerprints and a face scan, on your first entry. Operators at key crossing points such as Eurotunnel and the Port of Dover have been scrambling to prepare. Eurotunnel, for example, has invested heavily in new bespoke lanes and kiosks. But despite a phased rollout designed to avoid chaos, there are real fears that the time it takes to process families and multiple passengers at these kiosks could lead to massive queues and serious delays at border controls, especially at peak times. If you're travelling, particularly with a car in November, be sure to check the latest advice from your ferry or tunnel operator and prepare for potential delays. The theme of vulnerability continues this week as we've uploaded 3 crucial documents to the N332 website for you to read, all focusing on seasonal safety and, in particular, the safety of children. Firstly, a new advisory on the school transport safety campaign. The DGT and the Guardia Civil will be running an intense national monitoring campaign on school buses from the 10th to the 14th of November. Officers will be checking everything from vehicle documents and technical standards to driver licenses and rest times. A major point of emphasis will be the use of seatbelts. Where they are fitted, they must be used, as studies show they can reduce fatal injuries by up to 90%. Crucially, remember that 90% of incidents involving school buses happen when children are getting on or off, so be extra careful around bus stops. Secondly, we have a detailed piece on driving in Spain this autumn, which is all about preparing for the changing conditions. As the weather gets wetter, you need to check your car's basics: wipers, fluid, and most importantly, your tyres. The legal tread depth is 1.6 millimeters, but more is safer in the rain, which dramatically increases stopping distances and the risk of aquaplaning. Near schools, the message is simple: slow down. Obey those reduced limits, which are often 20 or 30 kilometers per hour, and watch out for children hidden by backpacks or umbrellas. Finally, a look ahead to building safe habits for the school year. Road safety isn't just about September, it's a year-round commitment. This article highlights future risks like Halloween, where children in dark costumes are distracted and excited, and the busy Christmas and Three Kings period, which brings crowded streets, high traffic, and increased risk of theft. The advice is simple: slow down, be vigilant, and never leave valuables visible in your car. Now, for our historical segment, taking a look back at the week of the 30th of September to the 6th of October. My focus remains primarily on Spain, and in this early autumn period, we don't often find a single definitive moment, but rather the continuation of traditions that shaped Spanish motoring. The week itself falls around the time of major European classic and historic events such as the Gran Premio Nuvolari. These open road races, though not always held in Spain, were part of the continental motoring culture that inspired Spanish drivers, engineers, and early race promoters. Furthermore, October always brings us closer to the historical roots of the Spanish Grand Prix, which is one of the oldest motor races still on the calendar, first run way back in 1913. While the modern race dates have shifted, the legacy of that event and the various circuits it has used over the century is a testament to Spain's long-standing passion for automotive speed, technology, and competition. It's a great chance to reflect on how far we've come, from the earliest Grand Prix circuits to the advanced road safety campaigns of today. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode of the N332 Driving in Spain podcast. Please remember to check the website N332.es for those safety articles on the DGT's school transport campaign, autumn driving, and our look ahead at festive safety. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe, leave us a review, and tell your friends. Drive safely, slow down, and we'll catch you next week on the N332 Driving in Spain podcast.
That was the N332 Driving in Spain podcast, presented by Mark Nolan. My name is Lily, the most cleverest member of the team, with a big computer brain. If you want to know how we use AI in these productions, you can find out all about it on the website N332.es. See you next time.